Welcome back to the Delaware Way. I'm Larry Menti. We are once again joined by Mike Purzycki, who is the Executive Director of the Riverfront Development Corporation. We talked about all the great things you've done since 1996 and things that you plan to do, and I still want to talk more about that. You've brought businesses in, you're going to build townhouses, you have entertainment there, but then you have this problem that when people look up Newcastle County or Wilmington, specifically Wilmington, they see things like Murder Town, USA, and they see things like it's the most dangerous city in America. How much is that reputation, it's not just a reputation, it's an earned reputation, but how much is the crime in the city and the reputation hurting you?
Well, it certainly doesn't help. I think it probably, since this article appeared in Newsweek, we probably have the members of the business community more trouble than anything else because of what is this reputational issue. But realistically, the crime that occurs in the city of Wilmington happens in the neighborhoods, and it's something that needs to be addressed, but it doesn't really impact the downtown, it doesn't impact Riverfront. What happens is anytime any small incident occurs in these areas, it resonates because people have this whole idea that there is this terrible crime problem in the city, and so every small issue seems to be much larger than it is. We're gathering the statistics on it as we speak because of the articles that have appeared in the News Journal recently about this. And the amount of crime that we experience is no different than it is in other parts, in suburban parts of the county. They're very, very safe areas. What is encouraging to me is—
Wait a second, just to make sure, to get that point, when you say the amount of crime we experience, you're talking about just the Riverfront.
The Riverfront.
You're not talking about Wilmington.
Well, but I'm talking about downtown too. I mean, the downtown, really, when we talk about what goes on in the downtown, the criminal activity, you've got to look back a year in some cases to find the kind of incidents that upset people in the downtown, in the business districts. So statistically, these things are very, very safe. You are in a city. I mean, things do happen, but it's really a very, very small number compared with this impression that this is a very crime-ridden area. Our neighborhoods need work. There is no question about it. And this is something that's got to be undertaken not only by people in the city administration, but in the state as well, because it's many of the state agencies that are responsible for what goes on.
Have they done enough?
At the core. Well, obviously, when you take a look at where we are today, I think you'd say everybody's not done enough. And so I think there needs to be a lot of soul searching. We've got to get a lot of people around the table saying, how do we do this better and do it strategically?
Right. And for the people on the outside not involved in those conversations, they don't go past the headlines. So you make a compelling argument, but they're never going to hear that argument. They just hear Wilmington. And for the businesses that are here, so they won't come here. And then for the businesses that are here, when they say where you're headquartered, they say, or where do we go? They say Wilmington, they'll get an eye roll, and then they don't want to be here anymore.
And that's very troubling. And so what do you have to do? The first thing you have to do is you have to do everything it takes to get the statistics in a place that gets you out of this this terribly unattractive elite company of cities that have these kind of homicide problems.
I'm smiling because that's exactly what Camden did. Camden used to have the moniker of the most dangerous city in America.
That's true.
And they got rid of their police department, and their crime stats are now countywide, and so they're not counted anymore. It didn't necessarily save any more lives, but it got rid of the perception problem. Is that what you're talking about?
Well, no, not at all. I think that there are things that we can do that are substantive that will reduce crime enough so that you will at least get out of this. You will not have this distinction of this unacceptable crime level. But the difference between Wilmington and these other places, Camden included, is Wilmington has very, very strong foundations, very strong demographic and economic foundations. I live in the city. You know, I wouldn't trade where I live. I live in a fabulous part of the city. The riverfront's great. The downtown is thriving. We have people moving into the downtown. You would never understand that if you read these newspaper articles. You would think that this is a desolate place where everybody's leaving. It's not mini Detroit, not by any stretch of the imagination. It's a terrific place.
We only have a minute left, and I want to end on a positive note. What is next?
I hope I did. I was trying to.
No, that was good. Let's be even more positive. What's next?
Well, what's next? You know, we have terrific things that we're working on that I can't announce here today. But we have, as I said, we've got apartments, we've got office buildings. We've got a bridge that is likely to be built over the next couple of years. That'll take both sides of the river together. They're just
and then whatever you're holding back, that you'll come back and you'll tell us when it happens?
Well, you'll be the first to know.
I appreciate that. Mr. Purzycki, thank you very much. The Executive Director, let me see if I get it right, of the Riverfront Development Corporation.
You got it.
Thank you so much. We'll be back in a moment.